The opposite of Le'Veon Bell's is a young man that's never been busted for, driving in a car, smoking weed, that's not going to get 30 carries. He's a young man by the name of Patrick DeMarcos, fullback for the Buffalo Bills. Yo, what is up, everybody? It's your boy Pete Manzanelli. We are back for another edition of my hit BFS program, ManzMaker. It's week 1, baby. No more preseason DFS. Wait, what's one second? My producer's saying something in my ear right now. He's saying that the quarterbacks this week are Josh McCown's, Brian Hoyer's, Mike Glennon's, Tom Savage's, Scott Tolzien's, Deshaun Kaiser's, and okay. Oh, so he's saying that we're actually going to get one more week of preseason. Okay, sorry about that. There's one more week of preseason. This is preseason week 5, my bad. But regardless, folks, it's time to get paid and get laid. Which is why today I brought on a truly prestigious guest to discuss this Sunday slate. You know him as Anthony Amico from RotoGrinders and 2QBs.com. But before we get to that, it's time for some DFS news and booze. Now, in massive DFS news this week, our friends David Kitchens, Davis Maddox, Sammy Reeds, and the rest of the fantasy insiders were acquired by the conglomerates known as the RotoGrinders. Now, this news made shockwaves throughout the industry, especially when RotoGrinders announced that the company formerly known as Fantasy Insiders would no longer be covering DFS and will be transitioning into a bird-watching vlog. Needless to say, I have no idea what's to come from them, but congrats to everyone involved, and I look forward to seeing some blue-footed boobies in the near future. Also, the RotoGrinders team announced that they will be video podcasting about DFS around the clock, 24/7. I mean, we're talking Truman Show style. The new programming is headlined by Dan Box, new show from 2 to 3 a.m., via a webcam in his bedroom where you can watch him sleep. The full list is on RotoGrinders.com. Check it out, dude. They're doing it. Okay, it's now time for my hit news segment, Pete's Tweet of the Week that brings the heat. Congrats to Baseball's DFS for bringing up a very valid, thought-provoking point. I couldn't agree more, okay? Nothing, and I mean nothing, chaps my ass more than a self-proclaimed DFS tout without the receipts to back it up. It's sickening, and we need to shine a light on the posers in this industry. Now that we've gone through news and booze, Pete's Tweet of the Week, let's bring on Anthony Amico. All right, everybody, welcome back. We are now joined by a truly prestigious guest. He's like a man about town and NFL DFS, Twitter streets. You've seen him on RotoGrinders and on 2QBs1cup.com. He also once took my spot on the Swolecast, very controversial. Anthony Amico, welcome to the program, my bro.
What's going on, man? It's really pumped to be here.
That's right, dude. We're just getting into it. It's apparently it's week 1 is what people are telling me. I personally saw the quarterbacks and thought it looked like preseason week 5, but we're here nonetheless, dude.
Yeah, no question. I mean, this is what we've been doing all the research for. I know that you've been grinding your big board. Mike Wallace is all over the place on your board, so now it's time to see really what the deal is.
That's right. And I have to ask you. You actually coach some football yourself. Is this correct?
Yeah, that's true.
Nice. Football. And so, do you ever watch film?
Yeah.
All right. See, now I'm noticing like a little disconnect because on Twitter you're like this metrics dude, but by day you're actually just like this film grinder dude. So why don't you just tell the world that you've been living a lie?
I mean, you know what? You're right. I mean, I guess I'm just a fraud. I mean, I should change everything that I'm about. I should stop writing for RotoViz. I mean, you're right. It's ridiculous. I appreciate you exposing me here.
Yeah, dude, if you're one of Anthony Amicsta's players and he's ever told you, hey, like, you don't look good out there, just be like, dude, film is a lie. Check my numbers, dude. Metrics rule. I need to be starting, dude. I'd throw that shit right back in your face. Have you ever thought, like, because you do coach football and then you also do a lot of the DFS, have you ever thought, like, if you could play high school DFS, what your players' salaries would be?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah?
All the time. Yeah. It's like last year, our quarterback was like one of the best players in the state. So it was like, he's 10K easy, no question. Must start though. You know, like, that's how it is. Everything's DFS, man, all the time.
But did you tell him if he was in a season-long league, you'd definitely have to go late-round quarterbacks and you wouldn't be paying up for his ass?
No. Actually, it's really funny that the newspaper writers did like a fantasy draft for like the players in our area. So I just like bust on the kids on my team that didn't get picked. I'm like, dude, you didn't get drafted. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
That's right. You're a bum. All right, let's talk about the thing that everybody wants to know. How are you approaching the $1 billion lineup?
Well, I mean, I think the first thing that you have to focus on with the $1 billion lineup is just jamming in as many studs as possible, right? I mean, if I'm trying to win all the money, then that means I have to have the best players. I'm definitely on Levitan's team jam them in, right? Let's get the best possible Lev Bell DJ lineup we can in there. And, when those guys go off for all the money like they always have, I'll just win $1 billion. That's kind of the process.
All right, let's find out how much you love coaching high school football. You win the $1 billion lineups. You're set for life. You can buy like 18 countries. Do you go back to coaching, or do you say, bye-bye, little boys and girls?
Oh, I would definitely coach. I'd probably jack up the facilities a little bit, though. I mean, it wouldn't be like high school anymore. We'd be living like Rutgers, Michigan. We'd have like a Big Ten level facility, I think.
Okay. All right. I like that. There you guys know this guy's grounded. He's true to his roots. He's a real football guy. All right. There's a lot of things going on with this NFL Week 1 DFS slate. I mean, we got the Zeke news. We don't know what's going on with that. We got a hurricane going down in Florida's. All the good tight ends are playing on Thursday night. Like, what's your 10,000-foot take on everything that's going on in this slate?
I feel good. I mean, in terms of Zeke, I definitely think that he's going to play. All this stuff is kind of dragging on and on. I'm not really sure if he'll get suspended later in the season, but it doesn't really seem like anything's going to happen anytime soon. So he might be a decent play. I mean, he did a little bit up against the Giants last year. It wasn't amazing. But for me, I really just like hammering these tournaments. I mean, DraftKings and FanDuel have put out a lot of really awesome tournaments this week for Week 1. I think that's where the money's going to be made. And I think it's just the best week of the year to be contrarian. I mean, we all think that we know what we're talking about. I know I certainly do. But, when the dust settles on Monday, we're going to be looking at this being like, we were completely wrong. So for me, it's about, playing the guys that aren't going to be heavily used by the public, trying to get as much leverage as I can on the chalk. And, I think that'll make me successful.
All right, so you said two things. You said, we all don't know a lot, which I agree about, except me. I know a lot of things. But you also said we need to be contrarian. So are you taking which picks you like and then picking the opposite of them to admit that you don't know anything and that you need to be contrarian?
Oh, that's next level of thinking, man. I think I'm definitely going to have to put that in play this week.
That's right, dude. This is you write out your lineup with all your favorite guys, and then you pick like the equivalent of the opposite because you just said we need to be contrarian and none of us know what we're doing. Boom, Amicsta's.
So then, like, who's the opposite then of Le'Veon Bell, right? Like, what's your play off that, man?
The opposite of Le'Veon Bell's is a young man that's never been busted for driving in a car smoking weed. That's not going to get 30 carries. He's a young man by the name of Patrick DeMarcos, fullback for the Buffalo Bills. That's the opposite of Le'Veon Bell's, except they're going to have similar point totals. No, I do have to ask you, is there any room for a fullback on your DFS rosters? I'm hearing a lot of hype about Kyle Juszczyk's these days.
I mean, I'm always down for fullbacks. Big guys need love too, man. I mean, I'm ready for that. I think that Juszczyk is gonna be serviceable at some point this year. It's not like you're gonna have to pay a lot to use him, so I expect him to be in some quality lineups this year. I know you'll be jamming him in.
That's right. I jam him in, but if you have 150 lineups, as Danny Tuttles might say, you got to sprinkle him in a little bit there.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're gonna play about 300 lineups, you got to have them in at least one.
You got to have one with the juice in it. All right, there you go. Everybody, all the Manz fans, you just got the green light to jam in all the fullbacks into your roster. Let's get paid. Let's get laid. All right, now it's time for my hit segment, Stacks on Stacks on Stacks, okay? Is there a quarterback, wide receiver stack, quarterback, tight end stack, anything that you're liking on this slate? Let's give people a Stacks on Stacks on Stacks.
Yeah, I really like Marcus Mariota and Rashard Matthews in week 1. There's about 3 points of reverse line movement on that game. So basically, people are really heavily betting Oakland, but the spread is still moving in their favor. So it's really enticing people to continue to bet Oakland. I think that means Tennessee's going to be good. Rashard Matthews should be in his usual outside role. Corey Davis isn't expected to do a ton in week 1. Eric Decker plays out of the slot. I think that Oakland's defense is pretty terrible. So I'm all about that Mariota Rashard stack.
And are you bringing it back with one of those Raiders pass catchers?
Definitely. I mean, I think you could use either Amari Cooper or Michael Crabtree, but I'll probably have a little bit more Crabtree since I think he'll be a little less owned.
So I have to ask you, have you heard? Now, this is only the second week of the ManzMaker, the new DFS hit show that's soon to garner many awards. Have you heard of the 69 challenge?
No, I haven't.
You haven't. Okay, so John Proctor's last week was the first inaugural member to participate, but this is how it works. So I will propose to you after this program a head-to-head on DraftKings, okay? Now, I get to use, we both fill a lineup, our best lineups. I only get to use 6 of my players. I throw out my 3 worst scores, essentially leaving me with 6 guys. You get to play your full 9. If I beat you with the equivalent of my hand tied behind my back with 6 guys, you have to say on Twitter that I am the premier DFS analyst and player of our generation. If you happen to beat me like John Proctor's did with a full 9 guys, I will tout you and your service or the sites you write for in a tweet or a video. Do you agree to these terms?
Oh, yeah, I agree. Let's do it.
All right, dude. Just know it's going to be super embarrassing for you if I beat you with only 6 guys.
100%. I mean, listen, you're still the favorite. Let's not kid.
Thank you. I'm glad you get this. Yeah, that first week, 0-1, dude, that was, even a blind squirrel finds a nut, dude. But preseason's just not my bag completely. But this is where I hit my stride right here. I'm going to take you down in the 6-9 challenge. So thank you for accepting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to challenge myself against the best.
Excellent, dude. So I appreciate you coming on. I feel like you spit some hot fire. You're going to now have to fade your own Mariota, Rashard Matthews takes after you get the Man's bump and that ownership goes way up. But where else can people find you? On the Twitters, on the RotoGrinders, the 2 guys, 1 cup. Where do you want them to find you?
I mean, all that stuff is good. You can catch me on Twitter at Amicsta. Pretty much all the stuff that I'm going to write is going to be linked there. Fantasy content will be at RotoViz, Fantasy Insiders, 2 QBs, and a number fire.
Nice, dude. Are you doing any weekly DFS recurring content, or are you just in the streets playing?
I'm actually not doing any DFS content this year, but I'll be doing a weekly waivers piece and a weekly recap for Fantasy Insiders.
All right. Look at that. Fantasy Insiders, dude. I told you they're like a redraft site now. You heard about it, all right? Oh, look at this guy. Already has the swag, dude. Nice. When are they going to get you the RotoGrinders swag?
Well, it takes David Kitchen about a year and a half to mail out anything, so.
It's funny you say that because in February we did the Man's Kitchen Pro Bowl slate, and I sent out some swag to the winners, and he said he would send out a polo to one of the winners, and I forget who those winners are, but my guess is you haven't received that polo yet. Just my guess.
No, definitely not. And I mean, that's probably why you haven't been on the Swolecast yet. Your invitation just hasn't been sent.
That's serious, dude. Get me on the Swolecast. I've said my piece. I'm the only one that's actually swole that could go on that program. Just kidding, Evan Silva's, dude. You're swole. Don't worry, I love you. But yeah, we'll get that sorted out. Anthony Amico says, thank you for the program, sir. Get paid, get laid. All right, thank you to Anthony Amico for coming on the program. A few little announcements here as we move on. I do have a league set up for all of my Manz fans out there. You can find it on my Twitter. I'll also link to it below in the comments. It's just a nice little intimate league, $5 for all you guys with small bankrolls. Unlike myself, I want to be able to play with you guys. Also, I noticed our dear friend Johnny Bales hopped in there, so if you want to compete against me, the Manz, Johnny Bales, get in there, winner take all, and each week we'll keep growing the league. We'll grow it out a little more because the Manz, we're going places. We're doing it, all right? Also, last week I announced that we'll be doing a Man's Fans of the Week every week. And I want to congratulate my dear friend Jason22s on winning the inaugural Man's Fans of the Week. This guy has been with me from the very beginning. He's seen me through thick and thin. He's seen me through PokerTubes. So congratulations. No one deserves to be the #1 inaugural Fans of the Week. But Jason, someone's coming for your crown. If you want to be the Man's Fans of the Week, just like Jason did, leave me a tweet at PeteManzanelli and we'll get you featured right here like Jason. It's time to let the world know about the Manz fans, because without you guys, I'm nothing. Without my viewers, without my subscribers, without my fans, without my followers, without my groupies, I'm nobody, okay? And that about covers it. So whatever you're calling it, preseason week 5, NFL week 1, go out there, mash some contests, dude, get paid, get laid.